Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Broadchurch. Last time around, there's stuff going on with Sandbrook, but I honestly can't be bothered to tell you. The biggest thing is that the defense is now not... I mean, they're trying to make sure that Joe doesn't go to prison, but their alternate killer for Danny is now Nigel Carter, because they brought in Susan Wright, and she said, yep, it was Nige. So, that's a problem. That is very much a problem, but it's also hilarious. So, please excuse my voice. I just had a slight problem before the video started, so... I'm trying to clear something out of my throat. Anyway, so yeah, that was the big thing, was that they are now going to be propping up Nige as the new killer, because damn if he don't look like Joe Miller. And I know it's only funny to me. I know, but it's so funny to me. It's so friggin' funny to me. So yeah. So that was pretty much it. Why don't we go ahead and jump right into this episode of Broadchurch. Here we go.
Did you recognize the man carrying the body?
Yeah, I did.
And can you name that man for the court?
Nigel Carter. He's my son.
Can we get a DNA test on that, by the way? I'm amazed how much these people go and sit on a beach and don't have to, like, keep dusting sand off their ass for 5 hours.
Thanks for agreeing to see me.
Well, at least you said I had to.
You do realize it's not your
How's
mother's
school?
fault that your dad is a murderer.
If you're so sure he did it, why is he pleading not guilty?
I wish I knew, but I...
Okay, murderers don't have a lot of sense. Hence they murder. I understand this is hard on him. And if this was a real thing, I wouldn't be, like, so judgmental. It's only because it's fictional characters that I can sit here as the reacting asshole I am. But, bruh, your dad's the murderer, not your mom.
I threw him out. A bit much. He was there with his wife. And last I saw, he was heading back for the car park. And how long was he in your room for? 5-10 minutes. Didn't see him for the rest of the evening.
Good on you.
So Kate Gillespie was wrong. Ricky wasn't with another woman.
I mean...
But nobody saw him for 2 hours. Where was he? Do you think he was going to drug her?
I don't had any reports of him trying that sort of thing with anyone.
Oh, Claire said that's what Lee used to do to her. Do you think it's something all four of them used to do?
I don't know.
I suppose that's a
I've done it at court
possibility.
today, we'll talk to her.
In Mr. Carter's sworn statement to the police, he says, I don't even know who she is. I don't want anything to do with her.
Police got it wrong. Police get it wrong all the time. It's a fact.
It's not, actually.
I thought you'd prepped her. She's a bloody liability.
Nah.
Stick to answering the questions you've been asked, Miss Wright.
Okay.
Nobody can prepare for Susan Wright.
I didn't want to dump Nigel in it.
How do you explain police forensics?
So then why are you doing
finding
this
4
now?
cigarette butts with your DNA on them next to Danny's body?
I've smoked a lot of cigarettes on that beach.
And why did you take the skateboard?
I thought it might get nicked.
It did get nicked, didn't it? By you.
Nah.
I thought the family would want it back.
And yet you never gave it back. Until you gave
know
it to
who Maggie
Tom.
Radcliffe is?
Oh, shit. I remember that scene.
Whose office you broke into around 11:37 p.m. on the 24th of July 2013, and whom you threatened by
Was it
saying,
their
and
plan
I
to bring in
quote,
Susan Wright? Because this was a bad
I know men
plan.
who would rape you.
Not true.
What's not true? You don't know men like that, or you do?
I
No.
never said it.
Why would she lie?
She's a journalist.
Right.
Nah, that's solid.
Journalists and police lie, and you're the only honest woman here.
Yeah, this ain't working.
You ain't all that.
Ah.
I wouldn't have gone anywhere near her if I'd seen that.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Do you know what? Maybe if you spent a little less time trying to tell me how to do my job and a bit more time on your own work, we'd stand a chance of getting him off.
Oof. That was rough. Yeah, that was terrible. I love this shot. It's like a shot from Better Call Saul.
Chin up.
She gets to be smug now. Finally, something went her way. Yes! Well, that was fun.
You alright?
At least Jocelyn got the W,
They'll always
so...
think I knew. No matter what the verdict, they'll always think I was in on it.
Just give them time.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks for that shitty platitude. That's fixed everything.
How you feeling?
Yeah. You know we talked about doing something in Danny's name?
He's holding her in such a way that they can get away with just using a doll in this shot.
We sent you a letter asking you to be a character witness for Joe Miller. Joe's really relying on you.
I've said no. Joe Miller is guilty.
Well, has he ever categorically confessed his guilt to you?
Technically. I mean, in a categorical sense, no. In a cosmic sort of way, yes.
Besides, if you're so sure about his guilt, why have you been visiting him?
He told you.
A
There's
priest.
no secrets. A member of your parish is in crisis. Are you really going to desert him in his hour of need? Have another think about it, would you?
Come on, Paul. Don't be peer pressured.
Becca, I think I've made a mistake. I just needed to tell someone.
Dude, I don't think anybody can really blame you for that. You're a priest.
Read your own documents. I'm not sitting up to 3 a.m. reading aloud so you can sit back with your eyes closed. Can't work like this. You're a bloody nightmare. I'm going home to see my family. I'll see you tomorrow at court.
You haven't told him, have you?
Why do you need things read aloud?
Oh, bumper cars, Hardy!
Duh. Actually, this place does look a little dope.
Oh!
But he's such a sourpuss.
I think this is brilliant. Did you not know this was going to be behind your house?
Rental company forgot to mention it when I took it on.
I know Ash was down here. You seen him? You tell me where he is.
Not go near him, Ricky. That won't help anyway.
It is eating me up knowing that he's back in the country.
Listen, you really want to help? Talk to Miller here. She's going through the case, looking to see if we missed any.
Is he there? Ah. This guy's a friggin' ninja, man. I mean, how old was the older one? Maybe it was a secret relationship? Maybe he was just really nice?
Can't hide from me, mate.
Or he's just hanging out with the family? Ah, even with that, like, I can't piece it together in my head.
Oh, for heaven's sake. I'm going to get a lock put on that gate.
You busy?
Well, of course I'm busy. I'm in the middle of a trial. What do you want?
Could you do my will?
So, everything to your daughter, held till she's 18. Lucky girl.
You got kids?
Never married.
That's her choice.
What is this, a police interview?
No. Sorry, it's a conversation.
Force of habit.
But her phone was on for another 18 hours. Last signal triangulated in Portsmouth. How the hell did her phone get to Portsmouth? Were any of our suspects near Portsmouth then?
No, we checked. We know all this.
Okay, here's the thing.
Could she have run
Lisa
away?
killed Pippa by accident. Got rid of the body and went on the run. She did that and she's still alive. You've got to admit, it's a possibility.
There are a lot of possibilities. I guess we could look into that too. Sometimes that happens. There's an old episode of Star Trek where basically it's just they keep connecting things, but overall it was just an accident, you know?
Hello. Hello, Mr. Carter.
Oh, God.
Was anyone with you that night?
No.
Did anyone see you?
No.
So, nobody can corroborate your story.
Only the pheasants I poached.
Is this funny to you, Mr. Carter?
No.
Not at all.
This
Your
is...
own mother? I'm not suggesting you killed Danny.
What?
I am suggesting that you put his body on the beach where Susan Wright saw you. Isn't that correct?
No.
What the that doesn't... How does that work? What, it was a joint murder? Oh, we knew Nige wasn't gonna be good.
What happened? Tell me what it was about.
Got into a fight.
Ever since I was a boy, you said, I'm your mum. Tell me, and I'll make it all right. Why can't you get me out of here?
Damn. Well, you can only cry out of one eye. Damn, she's a ninja too. I would love if he looked out and saw Susan, and then you see her, and then like 20 meters behind her is Lee Ashworth for no reason. He's losing
Go
it.
to sleep with Kate.
Bye, Mum. Bye, sweetheart. Have a great day.
No. Defense want the jury to believe that I killed Dan. Got Nige to dispose of the body, didn't they?
Yes, that's clearly where they're going.
Oh no!
I was reading about another family. They were saying that the trial was as bad as a murder, and I thought, that can't be right. But then going in there every day, seeing our lives get turned inside out, when all we did was love our son. I get it. You said yourself somebody needs to speak up for Dan. Well, I'm his dad. Should be down to me, you know?
Ah, Mark.
No, Mark. No.
Mark's such a good fucking character. Look, Vegeta, more bald people. And that guy. Nope, no. Out of here.
Why don't you want to call me in court? I want to give evidence.
Just...
Good morning.
What did you say?
Well, good morning. I mean, isn't that what people normally say?
Talk about being normal. That's my son. That's what they've done to him in prison.
Don't you dare make this my responsibility.
No, of course not, because life just doesn't touch you, does it?
All right, Sharon.
And the one time I ask you for anything, you don't raise a finger.
Why should I be always mopping up your mess?
What?
All the time you worked for me, all those poor me single mother speeches. Don't put this on me. It's down to you and no one else.
What would you know about being a mother? You're barely bloody human.
Damn.
A man died because of your boy.
Yes. He was trying to help someone in trouble.
Oh, haven't we heard that defense before?
Why didn't you take his case?
Because I didn't like you enough. And I always knew you'd blame me if you lost, because that's what you always did. Every time you didn't win, every time you missed out on a big brief, you always blame someone else.
You should have stayed retired, Jocelyn. Because I'm going to see that you leave that court a failure.
A child has died. Can you not air your grievances over a dead child's body?
He went to see Joe's legal team without my knowing. He can't do that without my permission, can he? Apparently he can. I tried to talk him out of it, but he's dead set on it, Elle. Just go away, Luz, go away.
I mean, this isn't Lucy's fault. What the fuck is that thing?
So, Lisa's phone in Portsmouth. What else do you
What was that? What statue was that? That was hilarious.
Oh God, it's a furnace.
Huh.
Agricultural services, they burnt dead animals here.
Hmm.
You still think Lisa Newberry's alive?
Well, shit. And there goes that. Welp. We gotta keep escalating things, man. We gotta keep escalating things until we can get to a conclusion, you know? That's just how plot works, but man, everything... Don't... Just don't. In general. Like, let's just say that. Folks out there, if there is one lesson you can take away from this series, it's don't. Okay? Can we all agree that that is the message of this show is don't. Just don't. Just don't. Don't trust anyone. Don't air your grievances. Don't seek revenge in a case of a murdered child. Don't lie to the court. Don't distrust your mother. I think there's one. There's one. Don't sleep around with your neighbor's wife. Don't do anything. Don't do anything with your neighbor's kids. In fact, don't interact with your neighbors. I think that's a good one. Because if you don't interact with your neighbors, you'll never be suspected if something goes wrong. Don't blame your mother when your father is obviously a murderer. Don't touch children. Don't force yourself to do something, because there's doing things out of your comfort zone, like, okay, let me give an example. Doing something out of my comfort zone. Going up a tall thing is out of my comfort zone. I have a fear of heights. That is out of my comfort zone. Don't want to deal with that. So I would not go to the edge of, I wouldn't go up on a skyscraper and go look out over the edge. Out of my comfort zone. So if your child was killed by a guy who was hugging and touching him, don't go see other sex offenders who, even if they have reformed, because who knows? They could be bald. And in certain cases, this one for instance, that'll just bring back too many memories, too many emotions. Don't trust bald people. I'm just gonna say that, and I know that is pretty bad of me to say as a guy with a full set of hair. But a lot of bald people on this show. Not a lot of them are trustworthy. There's some, I think. Is there? No, I don't think we've met a single bald person that I would trust. No, I can't think of any. Because there's the bald people who were the reformed sex offenders, and good for them, but, reformed still means you did it, so it's, like, good for you, you're getting your life together, but then there's Joe, and then there's Nige, and I don't trust Nige, and even, because, like, has Nige done anything bad? No. Do I trust him? Still no. That was not good to put him in the box. He is flaky as all get out. So yeah, that is the takeaway from this is don't. Every week I kind of think to myself, boy, as interesting as it is that they are weaving these two plot lines together of Sandbrook and Broadchurch, they really don't weave together at all. Like, other than the fact that they are happening at the same time, that's kind of it. That's, like, the only way they weave together. Other than that, no. They really don't weave together at all. It's just every so often, well, that scene is done, now we're going to do a Sandbrook scene. Well, the Sandbrook scene is done, well, now let's get back to this Broadchurch scene. So I kind of, sit here, I'm like, well, what do I talk about? What's interesting? It's like, well, it's like I'm watching two shows at the same time, basically, I'm watching 2 seasons of the same show at the same time, basically. And that's okay. Like, it's not bad. They're doing it fine enough. But, man, this whole Sandbrook thing is driving me nuts, Like, okay. So, Ricky might have slept with Claire. Lee might have slept with Kate. And then Lee may have slept with Lisa. Ricky may have slept with Lisa. For all I know, Ricky slept with Lee. That could have happened. Okay, but if Lee killed... Okay. You know what? Well, yeah, I guess it has to be Lee. So if Lee killed... If Lee killed Lisa, then took her to that place and threw her in the furnace, and that's why her body's gone, why would he have not done that to Pippa as well? There's a question for you. Why would he not done that as well? I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. I don't know. Honestly, my headcanon is going to be that Ricky and Lee slept together, and then something happened, and now the 2 girls are dead. There you go. Honestly, I was kind of down with the idea that it was an accident, Because that is... I mentioned this in the reaction, but that's an old Star Trek episode, an old Next Gen episode, where there's this whole thing that's happening, like... Basically, 2 things happen towards the beginning of the episode. There's this, like, Klingon spy, basically, and then there's a rupture in the warp core of the Enterprise. And so this admiral is there and thinks this has to be connected, This has to be all connected. And they go through this crazy-ass conspiracy, and so many people are put on the stand, all this sort of thing. And I think it's called the Drumhead. I think that's the name of the episode. All this stuff goes until eventually Captain Picard himself is, in the box, as they would say in this show. And then they just figure out that, well, yes, there was a Klingon spy. There was just an accident in engineering, Like, it was just sort of some mistake, some accident that happened, and there was a, rupture in the warp core. Obviously, it's not enough to damage the ship, but there was a problem. There was an explosion. And, yeah, so they go through this whole witch hunting thing only to realize it really wasn't, And honestly, I was kind of down with that here. It's like, well, maybe it was an accident, Maybe something happened, Pippa ended up dying, and Lisa got scared. Threw her body into the pond and hightailed it, and she's out. Because there's still that question. There is still that question of what happened to Lisa's phone. It was on for another 18 hours, went all the way to, was it Portsmouth? I think that's what they said it was. How'd it get there? Did Lee take it? Why would Lee have not just burned it with the body, Meanwhile, poor Mark, who may honestly be my favorite character. Like, both Beth and Mark are kind of my favorite characters on this show, just because they are, they're the innocents in all of this, And yes, there are, we've had our issues with Mark. He had an affair and everything, and there are issues with Mark, but at the same time, those are all, I don't want to say like simple or standard, because they are issues, but like, I don't know, I guess they're human to an extent, They're not murderous, So yeah, Mark is now... They're now going to stitch up Mark. Which, here's the thing. Because my respect for Sharon grows less and less as time goes on. Because this all, and especially now, this is all personal gain at this point. Which is weird, because you would think that this would be happening, like, the way that they've set this up now, you would have think that they would have started with Jocelyn defending, or Jocelyn prosecuting, I guess, and then Sharon's like, oh, well, if Jocelyn's gonna prosecute, then I need to go in and, ruin her or something. But that wasn't the case. It was that Sharon went in first to defend Joe, and then because of that, because Jocelyn knew, no other lawyer is going to be able to, to beat Sharon. She had to go in and prosecute, So that's interesting. But, like, okay, I understand it's still dumb as shit, but I understand why... We understand now why Sharon's doing this so much, that she's trying to defeat Jocelyn because she thinks that Jocelyn failed her son by not taking the case, not defending him, But the problem is, like, okay, we don't know, like, really what happened. All we have heard now is that her son, got a man killed. And apparently he was trying to save somebody, but we don't know the full story. So that's basically it. And Jocelyn didn't like the case, She couldn't defend him. But now, I don't know. It's just kind of weird that it's like, well, okay, but, whether or not... Is that a fucking worm on my floor? Or is that just a piece of debris? I should get up and go check. 1 second. No. Okay. Never mind. It was just a piece of crap. It wasn't... I just see something in the distance. I'm like, that looks like a worm, and I can't tell if it's moving. It's like, no, that's just like some crap. I need a vacuum in here is what I need to do. But we are wormless. We are maidenless in here. Well, we are maiden. You can take one look at me and realize that one. But I say that. I say this meme. I haven't played Elden Ring, though. I don't know. Anyone out there got a maiden who plays Elden Ring? Let me know in the comments. Anyway. That'll be the, if you've stuck out this long in the video, then I'll know. Anyway, back to the point. I mean, It's exactly what the hell is her name? Phoebe Waller-Bridge. I don't know her character's name. Is that, yeah, it's like, that Joe is guilty. Like, don't. First of all, don't. Second of all, like, this is not a game, when you're saying, these are people's lives that we're dealing with, you need to be more sensitive, and yet you're totally okay with letting a murderer walk free. I mean, there's your job, and then there's just, like, general morality, And I mean, I don't know, I don't think that Sharon is like Saul Goodman, where Saul will go in and he'll defend Lalo Salamanca, sure. But, I mean, he doesn't feel good about it, or he'll help Walter White build his, criminal empire, sure. But at the same time, it's like, but that's Saul Goodman, and he goes through this whole character. I mean, maybe I just missed it. Maybe I just missed the character arc. But Sharon seems like she is supposed to be a legitimate, lawyer. But you're trying to send Mark and Nigel to jail because of a grudge you have with Jocelyn? Meanwhile, Jocelyn can't read or something? What's going on with that? I don't know. Obviously she can read. We've seen her looking over documents and stuff. But why does she need all of her files, like, read to her? You know? I mean, it's one of those things, like, I think it's like, well, do you have, like, a condition with your eyesight or something? But now I'm almost thinking, like, maybe she just can't focus on something. But I mean, but we've seen her working on, like, text and stuff. So I don't know. I don't fully understand. Like, I don't know what it could be. What the problem, what the issue she has is. You know? So, I'll just have to wait and see about that. I love that their big trump card was Susan. And Susan was so terrible to put in. Susan was so terrible to put in. And I love this judge is also kind of weird. Oh, kind of weird. I guess she's a pretty basic judge, you know. But that whole thing of like, wow, police got it wrong. Police get it wrong a lot. It's like, well, I don't know. I don't know. It's like, that obviously didn't work. And yeah, it was not a good idea. It was not a good idea. And man, that scene where she's chewing out Phoebe Waller-Bridge or whatever her name is, that was rough. Anything else? I mean, there's stuff with... okay, I guess the stuff with Tom. Let's talk about that real quick before we close out. Okay, I understand he is a child who is now living through this very traumatic part of his life. Your dad's a murderer, though. Your mom isn't. Like, the fact that he puts so much blame onto Ellie, and it's like, it's not her fault. And even still, you know he did it. You know Joe did it. I don't know. I don't really want to, like, go too hard on it, because he is a kid, you know? He is a kid, and this is a very traumatic point, but at the same time, are you fucking kidding me? It was your dad, you know it was. Don't blame your mom for this, you know? Don't blame Ellie. But, so yeah, how will the trial play out, and who slept with who in this whole Sandbrook case, this ridiculous Sandbrook case? I don't know. At this point, maybe it was a four-way, you know? Maybe it was a foursome. It was Lee, Ricky, Claire, and Kate. Maybe they traded, you know? They traded wives. Maybe they traded wives, then they traded spouses. I don't know. Maybe Claire slept with Kate. Maybe Lee slept with Ricky. I don't know. There's a lot of sleeping going on over there. I don't know. And maybe Lisa just fucking left. Who knows? I don't know. Also, they mentioned the one, like, the stalker that was there. Like, they mentioned that again, and it's like, wait a minute. I don't know. The plot twist is it's going to also be Joe Miller. That would be really funny if that was the case. If somehow it was Joe. Oh, that'd be... Nah, I don't see that, though. I don't know. Maybe it was a joint venture between Ricky and Lee. Again, maybe they were banging on the side, and then... I don't know. Part of me doesn't want to find out anymore. Anyway... With all of that being said, and that got a little too illustrative at some points, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Broadchurch reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.